These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Saturday, March 30th, after the Celtics' 2-game losing streak against the Hawks. And just ahead, early game tonight, but they play the Pelicans tonight. And you will see Celtics-Pelicans recap in this episode. Before we get into that, make sure to leave a like on the podcast if you're watching on YouTube and subscribe to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, leave a 5-star rating, leave a review, and follow us on Spotify and Apple, all that good stuff. The ratings and reviews actually really do help boost the Spotify listens. And I truly don't know what else helps boost Spotify and Apple listens. So leave a rating, leave 5 stars. We'd appreciate it very much because I don't know what else.
Anything else going on.
Yeah, I don't know what else helps growth in those platforms. So we'd appreciate it very much if you listen to us there. Anyways, let's throw it over to the Celtics Pelicans recap. All right, Sam and I are here after the Celtics-Pelicans game. Celtics bouncing back after 2 straight losses to Atlanta with a 104-92 victory over the Pelicans, who were without Brandon Ingram, but still had Zion, still had CJ, still had Trey Murphy, all those guys. Celtics win. Tatum 23, well-rounded scoring pretty much overall here. Tatum 23, KP 19, JB 17, Derrick White 15, Jrue Holiday 13 of his own. Passed the ball around well, 27 assists in this one. 12 turnovers isn't ideal, but considering they had 7 in the first 6 minutes of the game, they did in fact turn it around. Meanwhile, the Pelicans couldn't shoot the ball. They were great in the first quarter, 37 points, and then after that, second quarter, 20 points, third quarter, 11 points, fourth quarter, 24 points. Celtics held them to their third lowest scoring margin of the season, or scoring total, I should say, of the season. So big get back win for the Celtics after 2 losses to Atlanta, even though I'm going to keep saying it, win and loss, it is still March, but they look good again, which is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, this was a big spot for them to try. So was Thursday, and we saw what we saw. But they looked pretty good in this game. They started off slow. Didn't always look like it was going to be pretty, like you mentioned, but the Celtics kind of flipped the switch mid-game. Nice to see that they can do that. And they put it to bed pretty easily. Like, third quarter was a big deal for them. Just whipped it out, put it on the table, and said, look at this. And the Pelicans had no answer for them. It was a great close to the half, too. You had the Derrick White buzzer beater from Curry range. They just locked in mid-game. You saw it. I was happy with the defense. They did a good job adjusting to Zion, who was really killing them early. Good job protecting the paint. Porzingis, 4 blocks. Big day for the big fella. Overall, I like the well-rounded scoring. It was nice. Also, rare for them to win a game where they score only 104. So good on the defense.
Yeah. They won the game with defense, like you said, and it is still weird. The Celtics, 37 threes is back on par with what they are doing, but the days of the Celtics shooting 43s are weirdly 2 weeks behind us at this point, which is just an odd flip of the switch because that's all they were doing when they were blowing teams out. They won this with defense. An 11-point third quarter is crazy. What's the fewest points scored by an NBA team in a quarter this season? Scored by
it's got to be 10, 11. The Pistons had 10 or 11 in the first quarter not long ago.
Answer is 9. The Bucks and the Hornets have each had a 9-point quarter this season. But Yikes. The Pelicans clocking in at 11 is the third worst mark in the league this year. Funnily enough, the Pelicans have also had a 10-point quarter this season. So maybe it's something in the air there. But big third quarter for the Celtics. Like you said, the defense was all there. Kristaps shutting down Zion Williamson at the rim. They really locked in. Jaylen Brown with the big block in the third quarter as well. He played well on that end. Weird game for Jaylen offensively. He made his threes 3 or 4, but he was pretty rough from the field. 3 of 12 from 2-point range. Tatum was efficient, but he didn't have to take a ton of shots. Only 17, 10 of 17, 3 of 6, 23, 9 of 4. This was a big, the 4 turnovers he had weren't great. It was looking a little bit on the ropes for him at the start of the game, but when Tatum turned it around, he was this was one of the better, Tatum takes only good shots games we've seen in a long time. I feel like he was taking all the good ones.
Respect.
So credit to him for that.
Yeah.
That was big.
Happy to see that from Tatum. Nobody loves a controlled Tatum game quite like me. Now, do they? 3 of 6 from 3 is a masterpiece. That is the benchmark. He should do that every single game.
I like a 4 of 8. I like a 4 of 8, but we can settle at 3 of 6.
That's an extra miss.
It is, but it's an extra make as well.
It is.
Still get you 40% or 50%. I mean, the real takeaway for me from this game. Oh, Drew Holiday also good before we get to that. Drew Holiday 13, 8, and 7, 2 steals, 1 block. He played well in that facilitator role. The real takeaway for me from this game, though, is please, dear God, spam the Kristaps Derrick White pick and roll at the end of games. Like it is the most clear thing. Like that is the last 3 minutes of this game. So the Celtics had this wrapped up. They were up by 20. Pelicans made a little run. Zion got a few, we can call them annoying whistles, whatever, at the end of the game.
Mickey Mouse.
Got himself to the line. Mickey Mouse, yeah. They made a couple threes. And then the last 3 to 5 minutes of offense for the Celtics was just everyone else space out while Derrick White and Kristaps Porzingis run a 2-man action. It was just, yep, just go back to them, go to them. Get CJ on Kristaps, post him up. Get Derrick running to the rim and making a play, go to them. Jaylen Brown got a couple buckets off of those plays throughout the course of the game. Like those two in an action, running a pick and roll or doing whatever together, those two on the ball, easy. The easiest fucking offense you can buy for the Celtics. So that was the biggest takeaway for me is please, dear God, why don't we see this more late in games?
Yeah, Derrick White has maybe the best patience on the team. Porzingis has the widest range of being a target on the team. And he is a mismatch god. The weird thing about Porzingis, Jack, there are so many games where he gets off to a quick start and then you just don't hear from him anymore.
Yep.
I am not a film guy. I'm just not. But I challenge you, if you ever are looking for something to do, I wonder if there is a reason for that internally or if it is just hey, the defense has said that's enough of that kind of thing. Because that's what I lean, but I wonder if their offense shifts to where it doesn't favor him anymore. I'm not suggesting that they ice him on purpose. That would be fucking stupid. But they just seem to like all of a sudden not have him involved anymore. And to your point, having Derrick White and him run pick and roll, good way to get him involved in big moments. A guy that is uber efficient when you get him the ball in the correct places. Why not do that? It would be sick.
Yeah. Derrick White, like I look at his stat line and he had 15, 3 and 3. It's like, oh yeah, he had a pretty good game. Watching that game, I was like, Derrick White is the ultimate, if the ball touches his hand, something good happens guy. Like that whole game was just, no matter what the Celtics went to, they went into a little slump. There were a couple possessions where Jaylen Brown like drove to the hoop and kept his head down in this game, and he was missing a lot of layups, which I'm like not his fault. Sometimes just shit happens. But whenever the ball came back around to Derrick White, it was like, okay, you're getting something good out of this one, and that tracks, right? Shot efficiently as well. Only took 9 shots, 5 of 9, 3 of 7 from deep, including one heave at the end of the first half to put them up at halftime after they were struggling in the first quarter, especially, which was fun to watch. Caught the Pelicans defense lacking as they were arguing a call, but I came into this, I'm like, who's going to be on the thumbnail of this video? Because we only do one person for each now. And I'm like, my heart tells me Derrick White, but like, or the brain tells me Derrick White, but like the page doesn't say that. So like, I don't know who's the thumbnail in this video when we talk about him. Like, who's the best performer in this game?
I almost feel like it's a defense question.
Exactly. And so from that perspective, it probably has to be Porzingis because he had the 4 blocks. But
yeah, can you get a picture of him blocking somebody?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, Porzingis was awesome in this game. Credit to him. He didn't shoot the 3 well, which you said on the pregame. Please get back to doing that. Like, you got Celtics offense needs him to do that.
Isn't going to cut it. Not to mention, like Porzingis, when he takes threes, they're fucking open. It's not like he's taking step back Tatum threes. As much as I hate them, at least I can understand when they're not going in the basket. Like when Tatum misses a step back, I'm like, oh yes, that's what I thought would happen. Now, when Porzingis takes an open 3, I'm like, oh, that's weird. That didn't go in. But then it continues to happen. You're like, oh, maybe this is what I think will happen.
I will say, of the Tatum threes, that come off a screen, step in 3 is quickly becoming one of my favorite shots on the team.
It's a good 3.
He drains those motherfuckers. He is.
I'm glad.
That is very good for him.
When Isaiah was here, it was a great shot for him too. Anybody that's handling the ball to come off a screen, appropriately be open, you're stepping into a 3. Like that is a money shot. Me and you can tell you. If you're stepping into a 3, it's easier to shoot it.
100%. I agree. Weird Jaylen game. Drew was really good as a connector. You didn't really notice him in a ton of spots, but he did everything. 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 13 points. Played good defense overall as well. A couple turnovers for him, just as there was for Tatum and Brown and KP, but most of those were early, I think. Tillman with some weird minutes. He did some good things down low. He was great on the perimeter defensively, but he also showed some, that's why they don't play him offensively as much, because his offensive floater game inside is, we can call it less than stellar, I suppose is the phrasing we can use for it. Good Al game. Nice Al game. Made a 3. Only shot 1 of 3, but he shot 4-7 from the field. He was making some nice post shots. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 points for him. Played some good defense on Zion as well. So it was nice to see Al get down and dirty in the post a little bit, as per usual. That was fun to see.
I love a Horford post up. It's one of my favorite things when it works. It sucks because I feel like his little drop step hook shot off the window isn't his money anymore. But back in the day, he would do that. It's cash every single time. It was nice to see him just bully people today. I hope that they get to do that in the playoffs, because anytime you can get Horford some free looks, it's not the worst thing. That guy having confidence is a great thing. Not to say he's been in the league for 16 years. He's not lacking confidence. But when you're kind of coming off the bench now and you have new roles and you're not really as involved, it's nice to see the ball go in the basket. And you saw him just put together an all-together effort game. 6 boards off the bench with a block. Can't complain at all with Horford today. He was awesome. And he played Zion.
Good for him. Good for him. Pritchard's been inactive ever since Drew came back. It feels like Pritchard just hasn't done anything, which is, I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
He hasn't done anything. That man had all the offensive rebounds today.
It's just true. He did get on the glass, but just in terms of his activity as a scorer and a ball handler, he only had 2 offensive rebounds too, which is less than I thought he had.
He definitely had 4, and they just did not credit him. Because I counted at least 3.
I don't know. I want to see him. I want to see the Celtics make an effort to keep him as an active part of the offense, because when he's cooking, it's such a great tool to have. That's just a small nitpick. Sam Hauser made a 3, which is good. This was, I don't know, man. This was just really the Derrick White game for me. It's so weird because Tatum played great. Like the stat line, I'll tell you, he was awesome. 4 assists. He was making some great finds across the court when they sent doubles to him. Pelicans also doubled far too often. It was not a good look for them.
Yeah, they made some dumb doubles. There was one where they just had Porzingis with the post and Matt Ryan was defending him. And they were like, okay, yeah, we'll just double off Sam Hauser.
That was weird. Porzingis obviously had his big game. He was nice. Jaylen Brown, 6 assists, which is better than I thought he had, but he had a couple head down moments and he missed weird layups.
3 of 12 from 2 is not good from Jaylen either.
Not at all.
The layups were brutal. Like, it wasn't like, oh wow, I can't believe Jaylen decided to take that shot. They just happened to roll off. Also, very glad that Jaylen's not hurt. Twice.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
Jaylen scares today.
What are we doing in New Orleans here? What's wrong with the court? Come on, man. I don't know, man. Just watching Derrick White and Kristaps run the pick and roll is like, please. Like, I'm on my knees. Please do it. Please. Guys, come on.
Get on your knees, Jack. We are no longer asking.
Jesus Christ. Like, it's right in front of your face. What? Like, you're telling me in the 26 seconds they had at the end of that Atlanta game, you couldn't fucking do that? Why? Like pulling my hair out. Why? Come on, please.
Tatum have to take big shot. That's why.
It doesn't make any sense. And Tatum could get a shot off of that too. Jaylen Brown got like 2 open shots off of JB or KP Derrick White action, and he was open. Like, you're telling me Tatum can't get like, or have, even if you want to, if we really like, because I'm the biggest proponent of Tatum needs to be in the late game action because he's the best player on the floor. Just have him fucking set the screen. Just have him do what KP is doing, get the switch and get CJ on his back. Like, that's fine too. Tatum was cooking. When he got a guy on his back, Jake Eisenberg was staying in on the playback. Whenever he got a guy on his back in the post, he would just drive baseline. It was an easy bucket. Just do that. Like, please. Oh, man.
The solutions are there right in front of your face. Please use them.
They are. Also, just because he gets a lot of shit on our show, Zion looks good. Zion looks pretty good. He's a good player.
Zion looked a little tired in the second half.
He didn't make his free throws, but when he is on, he is on. Like, he is a fun player to watch play.
He was great in the first half. I can't switch to segmented stats here, but I can tell you he was not as effective in the second half, whether that's credit to the Celtics or credit to him being tired.
They did defend him a lot better. Second half, Zion was 3 for 9. So you're right, not nearly as good.
Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's a tournament season or the fight for a playoff home court, There's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Prize Picks is really simple to play, and I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
But 2 assists.
On like
He
all
made some good
layups.
passes too. Well, yeah, but that's all he takes. Like it's not like he takes.
Yeah, but
anything
3
else.
of 9 is not good in the paint. Like he airballed
No.
one.
It's not. They played really
Jalen did
good
too.
defense on him. They completely switched up the way that they were defending Zion. Excuse me. They went away from the one-on-one. They went away from the dropping on pick and roll, and they said, "All right, we're just gonna send bodies at you in the paint, make you make a pass, and make the Pelicans make shots." And it was good defensive switch up from Joe, so credit to him. And Zion did end up struggling, but when he is on, like he is making some crazy fucking shots. Like he's the, like you said, what, soft touch? Is that what you called it? Like
The soft touch guys in the NBA are incredible to watch. Some of these rolls that, like, we were talking about Zion being able to get the ball high off the glass. It is remarkable how good these guys are at that.
Yeah, I agree. Keith Smith also tweeted about it. It is weird that you didn't see much out of the Jonas Valanciunas after like the first quarter. Like he played 15 minutes in this game. You just never came
Maybe
back.
they just decided he wasn't a good fit for this. They
That's
didn't
weird.
want them running Porzingis pick and pops, and then
I guess. And like he didn't shoot well, but like he was bodying them down low and creating some like I don't want to say
New Orleans
problems,
just didn't
but,
play
like,
very many big men, like at all. Like Larry Nance only played
No.
20 minutes. So that's 35 total minutes that they had a center in the game. And even then, Nance is more of a forward.
that
Size
is weird. My God, Herb Jones and Zion played 40 minutes each.
Working Zion back in the
Jesus.
there.
My God. Yeah. You know what's crazy? And this is the last thing that we can be done. Tatum had 0 free throws in this game.
He gave away some free throws with the little
That
hand
is
wave.
crazy.
Disrespectful to the
This
boys.
is true. That is nuts, though. He was getting a lot of contact. I feel like Tatum's gotten a lot of contact over the last few games.
He's gotten the shaft though this last week. And I don't say
I'm
that.
saying.
He
I
has
know.
gotten the shaft.
It is crazy. Yeah, I mean, even looking at these numbers, like 10 free throws, 10, 9, 11, 13, even in the Hawks game, 0 today? Really? 0? That's insane. Anyways, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No.
We can wrap it up. I'll probably put KP on the thumbnail, but Derrick White, just know I wanted to give it to you. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Rest of the show. Go. All right, we are back, and we are talking about Mr. Jayson Tatum, who, unlike some other players around the league, does in fact care about your parlay. Jayson Tatum, who was it that said it that earlier this year? He's like, I don't care about your parlay. I don't give a.
I think it was
about your
KD.
parlay." Probably, yeah.
I think he was just arguing with people on Twitter. He was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, a lot of pro athletes talk about like getting DMs from people that are like, you, like football players, especially, that are like, you fucked me in fantasy. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't really care. Don't draft me.
Yeah, I don't care about you. But Jayson Tatum was asked about it, and it is funny because Barstool posted this, but you see at
And
the
it's
bottom it's Noah's video. Tatum was asked about parlays, and he had this to say.
Your over under Jason, I usually have 35 tonight. Like what's that like?
Yeah, fans yell shit all the time. Shoot one more three, get one more rebound, get 25 before the half is over. So it definitely is a part of it. Sure.
There was a dude that had a sign that said, "Jason's my birthday. Can you get a parlay for me?" So like, as the way fans like heckle or cheer like change, where it's instead of screw you or like we love you, it's about like betting stuff, or is it kind of like is that an added on layer now?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like that my first few years. Definitely has changed. You know, I guess when you hit people's parlays and do good for them, they tell me, but then they also talk shit. If I'm on the court and I didn't get 29 and a half or whatever I was supposed to get.
I feel like it's affected the connection between players and fans.
Yeah, I mean, you see people on Twitter, fans going back and forth with players on Twitter about how you lost their money and shit like that. I guess it's kind of funny. I don't know. I guess I do feel bad. I don't hit people's parlays. I don't want them to lose money, but I just thought they'd try to play the game.
He feels bad, man. He wants you to hit your parlay.
He is the only NBA player ever that's like, yeah, I feel bad when guys don't hit their parlays. Unless it's Porter Jr.'s brother who's betting on himself on the unders, then he cares, but it's for his parlays. He doesn't want himself to hit the overs. But like the thing about the Tatum, like, hey, I care about your parlays. I mean, people are betting your under too. Like somebody's losing money either way. It's not like there's only the over they can bet. They can think you're going to suck too. I mean, I guess like if you're him, you won't feel bad.
I feel like far fewer people bet the under, though. I'd be curious to see that. I feel like under is
start doing it.
Under's a sin, man. Betting the under is a bet against fun. I hate that. I can't do it. Betting an under is so lame. That's such
Giving Tatum the ball at the end of the game is a bet against fun too, but they still do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say that. I will say it is getting kind of out of hand. Like I don't know if you saw, do you know Mike Cadlick? He works for
Mike.
He covers the Pats.
Good guy.
So he tweeted out a take that I was like, yeah, I agree. And it was about sports gambling. So the Yankees tweeted this from their official Twitter account.
Pull it up.
They said Nestor settled in plus 112 to record 5+ K's odds from, and then FD Sportsbook, which is the official Yankees account. And Mike goes, I love betting on sports. I think it's awesome that it's legal and growing. From the team account, this ain't it at all. And I couldn't agree more. That is not good at all. Like, this is horrendous. Like, yeah, I agree with Mike. I enjoy betting on sports. It's fun. I like doing it with my friends. I like going out. I like doing stuff. Like, it's good time. Like, we were in Vegas. We did it a little bit. Like, it's fun, right? For the official Yankees to tweet out a line with a partner from a sports book, like, you are begging to draw questions about being rigged. You're begging for it. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't even know if it's about the rigged stuff. I think the rigged stuff is a layer to it. But like, we're kind of like begging people to gamble a bit too much. Like, just overall, it's getting to be a lot. Like, the Yankees Twitter account. I mean, I guess the Yankees Twitter account's kind of like talking its shit. Like, if you bet against our guy, then get fucked is kind of the message there. But putting the link to the sports book kind of makes it a little different.
Sponsored by bang.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think if there was no sponsored aspect to that, it would be like, okay, like respect. Yeah. Like, let him know. Let him know that he hit. Like, don't bet against our guy. But if you're like, put in more bets here, look how shiny this is. Look at this little vacuum you can throw your money into.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like, there's just so much of this going on, and it's what people want. You've opened Pandora's box, and I don't think gambling is bad overall. You mentioned it. Like, we went to Vegas. We had fun. We bet on the games. I'll bet on games. I'll bet on the playbacks when the Celtics have a lead. I'm like, I'm going to protect my ass here. You bet. But overall, like, there are people that this is all they do. Like, this is everything. They wake up every day and they put a parlay together and they put real money on it. Like, this isn't a shot at the Papa Parlay. The Papa Parlay is putting 50 cents on the slate. It's not Papa Simone putting $20 to anything more, trying to win enough to feed the family for the week. It's different. But there are people out there that have an addiction like that this is all they care about.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like I think it takes a step too far when you're talking about official, like, team accounts tweeting at sportsbook. Like, that's like a step too far. That's calm down. Like, let's, like, you can I understand the NBA partners with the league. Like, I get that, but like, when you're starting to have official accounts tweeting like, this is the line, shout out the sportsbook, like, I don't know.
Weird.
For some reason, that's a bit jarring. Yeah, I don't like that. So
this is a tough slope, because on one hand, if you do it responsibly, there really isn't anything wrong with the gambling, even though it's kind of annoying. Like, I don't like Tatum mentions it, right? Like, the people heckling him about, like, make one more three. Like, that is everywhere. When I went to that game last week, 2 weeks ago, I hadn't been to a game in like over a year. It's been a while. Like, I don't really go unless I'm going with CelticsBlog. I'm not going to pay to get in. Hearing everybody just caring about their bets, it's like, being here to see the team isn't enough for you. You got to bet.
I get that, but like, I feel like people are going to heckle regardless. That just gives them a new avenue.
Heckling's fine. At least be funny. Like, I'd rather them like take jabs at Tatum than be like, you're not going to hit my over. What the hell? It's not about you. It's not about you. You're there. I don't give a fuck about your bet. If I'm Tatum, I mean, good for him. He is the ultimate diplomat where
PR guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be nice to everybody no matter what. He's so calm, collected. But man, some of these fucking people with their bets, it's awful. But the real point, it's nice, it's fun at a moderation, but it is dangerous. Like, I feel like the ultimate path that this ends up on is like kind of how smoking is, where like cigarettes aren't illegal, but you don't see commercials for cigarettes because you're like really hurting people. But if you want to do it, more power to you.
Old cigarette commercials are crazy. Have you like seen some of the things that they like used to put out there?
Well, it was just like the guy's like the coolest guy ever.
No, it was like cigarettes cure cancer. Like cigarettes help your health. Like yes, it was like insane. Like
what's happening?
It was really insane shit.
Well, I know there's like a cigarette belief, at least back in the day, or it might still be a thing. Like you won't gain weight if you're smoking cigarettes. Like it keeps you from getting fat.
It was insane.
Like, I know I was big with the ladies.
Biggest lies about cigarettes told. Like there was some crazy stuff that would happen. Like they were just saying anything they wanted. There is no proof that cigarette smoking is the cause of lung issues like that. We don't accept the idea that there are harmful agents in tobacco. 12-year effort ends with unprecedented flavor and low tar. Like they were just saying crazy shit. I don't believe that nicotine or our products are addictive. Like they were just spewing shit.
You'll live to 150, one a day.
That last one of like, we don't believe it's addictive was 94. Like this is 30 years ago. It's insane. Anyways,
at least with gambling, like you're not like inhaling chemicals.
Yeah,
it's very like it's laid out what happens. You either get money back or you don't, and that's it. And there are to be fair, and I know like it's sponsorships or whatever, but FanDuel does have the ad that's like, hey, like you can use our app.
They all do.
Have limited gambling.
Yeah, everything has that now, and I think that's just a required step at this point. But anyways, next thing, shout out CelticsBlog. CelticsBlog is having its 20th anniversary.
Happy birthday from HBTC to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey,
CelticsBlog. Jeff Clark, the legend who founded CelticsBlog, put out an article talking about it. Just 20 years. Just wanted to say shout out CelticsBlog because it's dope. It's the reason I am where
platform.
I am. Yeah, it's
a lot of fun. Really good people working there. Jeff is great. Bill is great. Keith Smith was great when he was there, and he was a mentor to a lot of us earlier this year, and he got busy, so he had some stuff come up. But besides that, like there's so many great people that have come through here. There are people that have been successful. Bobby Manning's a part of the blog. Jared Weiss used to be a part of the blog. There's a whole article up on CelticsBlog, a compilation of people that are either a part of the blog now or used to be, and just saying what it means to them. And it's pretty cool. Like it is an important site. I know RJ is on there all the time. Like it's a good place for content. We try hard. We try and give you good content. And I enjoy being a part of it. I've been trying for years. I finally got in last year.
It is crazy how many people have come through CelticsBlog. There's a lot of names here, and even more that didn't even like write in. Like I know, I'm pretty sure Zach Lowe wrote he might have been Celtics Wire. I know Kevin O'Connor was CelticsBlog. Just shout out CelticsBlog though. It's dope. I applied once, didn't get in, then I applied and got a volunteer, and then I worked my way up. Like it's kind of crazy, like to think about what would have happened if I didn't get in at CelticsBlog. Because it's like cooked. Like I'd be cooked.
Get
like
ready to learn medicine, buddy.
Yeah, right. I'd be done for it. Would have been crazy. But shout out CelticsBlog. I got in, and then ever since then I've been like figuring it out. And I know Sam could say the same. So that's it. Shout out CelticsBlog. Appreciate them. Last Celtics thing before we get to the email. The Celtics are the Nuggets of last year. So everyone's panicking. The Celtics have lost 2 in a row to the Hawks, obviously. Not great. They lost 2 games at the beginning of March, I think it was, to the Cavs and the Nuggets. People were mad. People are having all these discussions of, are the Celtics done? Is it for them? Like, what worries can we bring to the table about the Celtics now that they have shown a single sign of weakness? And my response to that is, this is what happened with the Nuggets last year. And before you say, well, the Nuggets have won a title, they didn't at the time. Like they literally did not. That was the whole thing.
And I did not believe in them. You can go back and watch the clips. I was like, show me something when they do something in the playoffs, then I'll start caring.
Exactly. And everyone was like, oh, the Nuggets are done for because they've lost a bunch of games in March. The Nuggets ended the season in their last 15 games, 7-8 in their last 15, below 500 in their last 15 games heading into the playoffs. Amongst those losses, they lost to the Chicago Bulls by a score of they lost. Sorry, let me rephrase that for you. They lost by 20 to the Chicago Bulls. They lost by 8 to the Spurs, and keep in mind this is the Spurs without Wembanyama. This was Keldon Johnson dropping 23 on their head and Doug McDermott giving them 20 off the bench. They lost by 2 in a barn burner to the Nets with Mikal Bridges and Nick Claxton giving them 20. Excuse me. They lost by, they lost 4 in a row, and then those were 3. They lost by 15 to last year's version of the Raptors, where Siakam, Van Vliet, and Scotty Barnes gave him work. Van Vliet gave him 36 points. They lost to the Pelicans. They lost to last year's Knicks.
Ooh.
They lost to the Suns. They lost to last year's Rockets by 21.
It's
Rockets.
A big day for the Celtics.
Do you remember last year's Rockets?
The Pelicans. Yeah, the Celtics lost to him too, for what it's worth.
Last year's Rockets. Jalen Green gave him 32. Alperen Şengün 20. KJ Martin 12. Jabari Smith 60. Like, that was not a good Rockets team.
That was an awful Rockets team. Oof.
So I'm not saying the Celtics
Steven
are going to follow the same exact path as the Nuggets, even though that'd be kind of sick, right? It's obviously the goal. But the people complaining about, are the Celtics done for? I present to you last year's Nuggets. Like, context, please.
They better win. That is the flag I planted last June. It is still waving in the wind. They had better win. Because if they don't win, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to know.
I'm just saying, don't start counting them out now, because these games truly don't matter, as you see by the Nuggets, who at the time had the Nuggets clinched the 1 seed by that point.
I'm not sure. Hey,
I think they.
Is there a way to look at their clutch numbers, Denver, last year? Because if they were not good, then that will be even more like, hey, look, it's okay. But clutch
numbers.
Can you do 1 point game within the last minute?
Yep. Within the last minute, a header behind, 1 point difference.
Yes.
They were 11-6. So a bit better than this year's Celtics.
And that wasn't meant to poke holes in it. I was just curious.
This year's
Celtics,
the
rest of it
same
is
spot. Yeah, 11-6 versus 4-8. So that's pretty significant. They also played significantly more of those games than the Celtics. So that is something to note. For
the
sure.
Celtics are still a wagon. Like, you go out there to play the Celtics, the first quarter is not going to treat you right. You get to the fourth quarter, you might have a chance, but you got to get there. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We'll see what happens. I'm just saying, people are counting the Celtics out. People are saying, "Oh, time to panic." Like, let's give them the playoffs. Let's let them get there first, because that's obviously what they're focused on. At least
I'm going to go buy a siren before this game, so if they lose, I can set off the siren.
Please don't do that. All right. Let's go to the email. Let's see what's going on. A reminder to comment what's popping on the video if you'd like a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card. No one commented today, so no wheel. But again, comment what's popping on the YouTube video for a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card. Email. From RJ. What's popping? 2 things. Morning, fellas. Happy Thursday, and a tip of the hat to the Suns and Rockets for reducing the Celtics' magic number for best record in the league down to 4. 2 things from the mailbag. I said Pritchard is a better point guard than either Jalen or Jayson, only because he is. He handles better in traffic, is less prone to dribble with his head down, and has a better sense of knowing which passes he can and can't make in a given situation. Not to mention his insanely good assist-to-turnover ratio. Oh, wait, I just did. It's both insane and good. The thing I never said is that he should be taking the last shot of the game. Thing number 2 about Grandy, he calls a solid game, describing the action and the flow of getting information out of Max. No doubt about any of that. Where he grates for me is when he feeds the trolls of Celtics Twitter and Celtics PTSD by finding ways to referencing team failures, even when they aren't applicable to the game in front of him. It's his version of Tatum's infinite dribble threes. It just bugs the hell out of me. That a skilled professional does something like that. He should know better, yet he falls back into it a lot. You two, you're perfect. Even Sam's crappy Wi-Fi adds to the charm. Be well, RJ. Well, thanks, RJ.
Wait till we get that fixed.
Is it in the process?
It's as in the process as it's ever been.
So no. so it's not in the process.
RJ, I am closer to doing it than I ever have been. No, it's going to take like one more where I just need to like have a meltdown, and I'm probably going to do it.
We'll see about that. What's popping? I don't really know. RJ says, evening, guys. I'll let other people dissect the X's and O's. My only takeaway is that in these 2 games, the C's gave up the worst thing possible. Right or wrong, the other 15 teams in the playoffs now have a gift of hope. Teams can come into a game thinking if they scheme, if they execute, if they hustle, if they hang around, then maybe they can grind it out against the Celtics. Down a bunch, doesn't matter. In a close game, doesn't matter. I honestly believe Boston just made their playoff road harder because now it just doesn't run through the Celtics. It runs through their heads. I hope that I'm wrong, people. Well, RJ. I don't agree with that. I think this is what we just talked about with the Nuggets. Like, I don't think this is how metagame teams are thinking about it. And I think the Celtics are truly just keeping their heads down in the playoffs. I don't think this is significant.
I think RJ has a decent point. Like, I don't think the sky is not falling. Please make no mistake. But what I just told you applies to what RJ said. If you're going to play the Celtics in the first quarter, good luck to you. But if you somehow make it to the 4th, you're probably not feeling that bad about yourselves. You could probably be like, hey, maybe. All we need to do is get it close, and we can watch Tatum do that dumb shit that he does.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think these 2 games are going to change the course of their playoff path at all.
It's just weird to see them lose to the same team twice in a row. Because that is playoff, like basketball. They just played 2 road games in a row. I mean, granted, they played Portland.
They don't care, though.
They don't care, but
I stand on that. Like, I just don't. I'm not pulling any like outside of the late game offense, which still stinks, which we saw like actual reps of. I'm not pulling anything from these games.
Yeah, but the late game offense is a legitimate thing that you did.
I agree. That is the one thing, but I'm saying like in terms of mentality of other teams, the Celtics overall effort levels, the Celtics other stuff. Like outside of the late game offense, which has continued to be an issue the whole season. I'm not like anything that happened in these 2 Hawks games, win or lose, I don't think is applicable to the playoffs.
Yeah, but the late game offense is.
Agree. I just said that. Yes. But that's not what RJ's saying. I'm talking about what RJ's saying. RJ's saying about, teams are going to be more confident. Teams are doing this. I don't think that mentality is going to change anything in terms of the Celtics mentality in the playoffs. I think the late game thing could be a problem, but that has nothing to do with like teams, the way they view the Celtics.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think a team is coming in and being like, if we keep it close, we could get them to fumble at the end of the game?
Maybe they look at the late game offense. I'm saying these 2 Atlanta games are not changing the course of their playoff mindset.
I don't think the Celtics are rattled by this, but I think opposing teams might feel better about themselves by this. I think I'm in between you and RJ.
I don't think so. I think these are 2 games in March, and teams, if anybody can understand that no one gives a fuck about March, it's other teams who are playing in March.
I don't know. I guess.
I just disagree.
It's just like there's not giving a fuck about March, but then you're in a close game. Like if you're in a close game, you're gonna give a fuck. Regardless of like what it is. These guys are NBA players. They're competitors. They want to win if it's there. Now, I can understand going into a game and you're like, we're playing Atlanta again. Who cares? But you can't tell me you have DeJounte Murray like talking shit to you while running down the floor and firing every time. I mean, just look at Jalen.
He cares for sure.
No, I'm not talking about him, but like look at Jalen. Jalen sinks that big shot to go ahead before Murray ends the game. He was pumped. He was fired up. He was talking his shit.
Yeah, once they get to the moment, they're obviously going to try to win it, right? They're not going to try to lose games.
But they are in the moment, and they are losing.
Yeah. But they also, like, played half-ass for the first fucking 36 minutes of the game. And then the first game, they played half-ass for the last 24 minutes of the game. Like, until I get a game where they fully try for 48 minutes again, it's hard for me to take anything away other than their late game execution, which has been bad. And if you want to tell me other teams can look at that and say, hey, like if we get to that spot, I think we have a chance. I agree with that. But I'm saying these two specific Atlanta games don't mean shit because they've done that a million times. They did it against Denver. They did it against the Cavs. They did it against other teams all season long. So they're going to take that from the whole season as a metric of the Celtics, not these two random Atlanta games at the fucking end of March. I don't think these two games specifically matter.
I see what you mean, and I get it. Like
you
I
can disagree with me.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that what I believe.
No, but like I think you're saying the same thing. Like the important part of these games was that they didn't really show up in the clutch, and that's been a problem all season. And it was magnified in 2 straight games.
Yes,
when they should be trying in the clutch.
I'm saying yes, the clutch thing matters, but that is not specific to these Atlanta games. If RJ's argument is these two Atlanta games changed the course of the Celtics playoff path, I disagree with that statement.
I mean, even Minnesota didn't beat them twice in the clutch.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying the clutch thing has happened all season. So teams will look at that as a whole of the Celtics season and take that with them and say, they're not great in this specific scenario. Let's get them there. But RJ saying these two Atlanta games specifically made the Celtics playoff path harder, I don't agree with. It is an extrapolation of the rest of the season and their struggles in the clutch, not these two specific games at the end of March.
I mean, we'll just disagree then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last email from RJ. What's popping? More thoughts on going down 0-2 to Atlanta. Happy Fridays, fellas. I know it's not the playoffs yet, but given how Coach Mazzulla was all about contesting timeout threes himself so an opponent wouldn't see the ball and go in the hoop, I'm honestly confused about his approach in these two games. In my mind, letting the Hawks win either of them is the team equivalent of the shooter seeing that ball go in. One thing I hope you make the shot is another to get the confirmation. Speaking of it, it's not the playoffs yet. The C's haven't clinched home court through the finals yet either. I keep harping on this because the last 2 years of the Celtics have had their playoff ticket punched by mistaking, quote, being ahead or closing the deal. Yeah, I still have confidence in the Celtics squad, but I think it's important they run through the finish line too. I could be utterly wrong about Champions Crush, but Champions Crush, they don't coast. Wrong. They literally did coast. Who's expecting to win in New Orleans, says RJ. I'm going to point to the Nuggets again. They literally did coast until the playoffs and then said, fuck it. And everyone's going to say, well, yeah, because they won. Not at the time. Not at the time. They knew what they had and they coasted until the playoffs. And this isn't me like getting mad at RJ or anything, because people like to say I get mad when I just express my opinion. But anything that happens in March, I'm going to take with a grain of salt because I know these guys are not playing with their head on a swivel. I agree the late game offense is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I agree. I vehemently disliked Joe Mazzulla's give the ball to JT and let it fucking rock comment. That sucked. That was horrible. You can't say that. I think it's a stupid plan. However, the whole they shouldn't have let them win either of these games. It's fucking March. They don't care. And I stand by that.
I guess. Sure. I don't want to argue with you again because I think we're just not gonna have the same chat.
Yeah, it's the same argument. It's the same thing. All right.
In that case, the only way I can express what I think about this, and I'm not trying to argue with you, is Atlanta is not a good team. Correct?
Correct. They're bad.
But Atlanta was able to get back-to-back wins over the Celtics by getting them in a late game spot. Now they did not get there the same way at all. That I agree with you on. But they were able to get to the late game spot somehow. And once they got there, they were able to win. And that's not great.
Sure. That's fine. And my counterpoint would be if this was the playoffs, they wouldn't have gotten to the late game spot.
Okay. Fair.
All right. NBA time. Let's go to the NBA section of the show. Check in with the standings, see how teams around the league are doing. I'll pull it up.
Sorry.
Here you go, everybody. Celtics still have a lead in the Eastern Conference. Still sitting at 11 games.
After all that? Really?
Celtics 8-2 in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Bucks are 5-5. They are not helping themselves. Cavs 4-6 in the last 10. Those two have been struggling. Cavs have reclaimed the 3 seed. However, the Knicks are coming. They are 7-3 in their last 10, and they are fighting.
Yeah, they lost to the Spurs yesterday, despite Jalen Brunson having a 60-point game.
I know. Wemby's coming, man. Wemby's gross. He's coming for him. Magic right there as well, but they have lost 3 in a row, so they are slipping back into the 5-6 range. Meanwhile, the Heat are only a game behind the Pacers for the 6th seed. The Sixers look like they're going to be a playoff team. The Heat are 1 game behind the Pacers. My bad. The Bulls are slowly losing grip on that 9 seed. The Hawks are coming for them. They were depending on the Celtics. Maybe this is metagaming. Maybe the Celtics don't want the Bulls to have home court advantage because they're still mad at them in the play-in. But again, Bulls, Hawks, 9-10. Rest of the East doesn't matter at all. That is the Eastern Conference for you.
Yep, I agree. One thing we didn't put on the sheet, and so I guess we'll talk about it now because we're looking at the play-in. Woj said Embiid is supposed to come back before the season's over. So the Sixers are no longer Tyrese Maxey and the boys.
No,
I don't really know if you're a Celtics fan how much Embiid strikes fear into your heart, but for what it's worth, he'll probably be there. So if you're thinking about who you would like to play in the first round, even though I think the Celtics would beat the Sixers and probably do it pretty easily, I really don't feel like having them go through that early in the playoffs. It would be a lot more fun if they played the Bucks. Like if Philly played the Bucks, you could watch them throw haymakers at each other and just sit back, relax, play against whoever it may be.
I feel like they should. People need to temper their expectations. I think expecting Embiid to come back and be the MVP version of himself that he was to start the year is insane. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but if he's been healed for a bit and he's been a little bit rested, it's not outrageous to think he is going to benefit from having fresh legs because this man always comes into the playoffs. And I guess you could tie this in too, but he always comes in the playoffs like beaten down, tired. If he's actually healthy after healing up, he's probably going to be the freshest he's ever been.
But
then again,
don't see it.
When Rob got hurt with the same thing, he came back and was
That's
off.
what I'm thinking about. Like my counterpoint is this is a guy who has a history of getting tired of not being in the best like stamina shape come playoff time, coming off a knee injury. Like I just don't see that working out well. Like this guy can't play 4 quarters in a row at the same level in the playoffs anyways. Now he's coming off a meniscus. I'm hesitant. That's all I'm saying.
You're right to be skeptical. Trying to cover both sides over here. Good journal.
Western Conference. Minnesota, OKC tied atop the Western Conference 7-3 in their last 10 for both of them. Nuggets just half a game behind. The race for the 1 seed is a tight one. Clippers only 1 game ahead of the Pelicans now in that 4-5 race. The Mavericks have actually created a little bit of space by winning 6 in a row. In that 6th seed, they're 1.5 games ahead of the Suns. Suns are half a game ahead of the Kings. Lakers and Warriors are down there, and the Warriors are still just 1 game ahead of the Rockets, who have now won 11 games in a row. And then the rest of the West Sox, 11 games in a row for the Rockets is insane. That's crazy.
It's kind of funny watching Golden State win a couple games in a row now with Houston just breathing down their neck. They are doing everything they can to keep their heads above water, and you just have Jalen Green and the boys sinking shots, sinking teams.
We could have 11 500 or better teams in the West this year.
I mean, you do right now.
That's insane. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Well, you know what happened, Sam, right?
What a league.
You know what happened in Texas? Well, Dallas and Houston.
Yeah, they did. They banned Pornhub.
And Dallas and Houston are undefeated since then.
I saw a Reddit post, like all the teams
Dallas Stars too. Yeah.
80% winning.
It is crazy. My friend Brian asked me to talk about it. And so here you go, Brian. He said, when are you doing the real journalism? And I guess this is what the real journalism is. Jalen Green can focus now, I guess. Luke is locked in.
Does that mean all porn sites are banned or just
Pornhub? I think Pornhub is just it. I think that's it.
Pornhub's whatever.
Yeah. It's like, you're okay. Like,
that. There are better options out there.
So yeah, the shout out to Texas is undefeated since then. Good for them, I guess. Anyways, have the Spurs won 3 in a row? Spurs have won 3 in a row. Everyone's cooking in Texas, man. Everyone's cooking. All right. Next thing, Draymond Green and Grant Williams got into a scuffle, and it's funny. So I'll pull up the video. Grant was doing everything he possibly could to get this man Draymond to get pissed off. Here is this. Draymond almost kicks Grant in the groin.
Grant is such a he almost got elbowed too, for what it's worth. This is a nice little dodge from Grant on the elbow, and then you get him just holding his ground against Draymond.
I love when he calls the foul for himself. That way.
I am a fan of these Hornets uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets wear these uniforms. They might turn their team around.
I love Grant for this. Grant is just pissing Draymond off on purpose, and it's so funny. He was built to be the anti-Draymond.
He really is.
So
This
good.
is actually kind of the Spider-Man meme, except Grant doesn't try and injure people.
This is the remember the Kobe clip where Matt Barnes tries to hit him in the face with the ball? That's
Yes.
Draymond and Grant here, except Draymond is like throwing limbs at Grant and he's just not moving.
Well, Grant knows he's not a white European guy, so he's safe.
Mm.
Usually, Draymond has a type.
Although Pat Bev did call him one of the whitest in the league.
That's okay. That's okay. He's still not from Europe.
I love Grant. I love him so much. He's awesome. Next thing, the Kings are fucked. Kings are in shambles. Last year, the whole season was, the Kings are only good because they haven't gotten hurt all year. Well, get to the last few weeks of the NBA season, and they're cooked. Kings guard Malik Monk is feared to have suffered a sprained MCL. Meanwhile, Kevin Huerter suffered a torn labrum. Just very tough night for the Kings role players. I do have a future on Monk to win six man of the year, so
he still might win.
Right.
We've
100%.
gotten far enough in where it
I'm
doesn't
feeling
matter.
pretty good about it, is what I'm saying. But yeah, the Kings are kind of cooked. And then Sam, you put in a couple clips here that is entertainment.
Bad injury day for the Kings, bad basketball day for the Kings. The Kings were in a absolute barn burner of a game with the Mavericks. It was close. And then I believe Luka hits a big shot here. And then he lets Vlade. Oh, he makes a free throw. He lets Vlade Divac know about how he should have drafted him in 2018. Instead, the Kings took Marvin Bagley.
He said you should have drafted him.
Waves at him, runs back to the bench, letting him know, looks out to the crowd. You should have drafted me. He should have drafted me, pointing over his shoulder with the thumb. The most disrespectful way to point at somebody is with the thumb.
Oh, Vlade knows too. He's mad. He knows. He's like, damn, we could have had that guy. He's not very happy. And then Harrison Barnes, Sam put this clip into. Mavs up 3 with 20 seconds left. Kings have the ball down 3. De'Aaron Fox dribbles it out. Harrison Barnes takes a 3. Misses a pretty open 3, gets it back out. Harrison Barnes gets the ball, top of the key, gets it back. De'Aaron Fox moves, doesn't know he moves, and Harrison Barnes just throws the ball away at the end of the game. Gets a backcourt violation, and then Kings are cooked from there because the Mavs get the ball back. Kings foul them, and that about did it for the Kings. Rough couple days, rough news cycle for the Kings here. Not exactly what you want to see if you're a Sacramento fan and have been through pain for the past 20 years. You got back in the playoffs last year. Probably will be in the play-in this year. And Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk going to be fighting for their lives to get back in time. But I don't know if they're going to be doing that. So very, very tough for the Kings. All right, next NBA thing, though. The Rockets, speaking of Western Conference teams, might look different next year. Tim McMahon, via a video posted by Dunk Central, said that Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun might not be on the roster next year. Said, quote, Rockets, quote, want to take a big swing in the trade market. Quote, I don't know if both Sengun and Green are going to be here long term. My guess, and I emphasize guess, is that one or the other would end up getting moved at some point for them when they take their big swing. And it's going to be, quote, sooner rather than later. If there are stars that emerge in the trade market, I believe the Rockets are going to take swings. So the Rockets are not looking to settle in here. They're looking to move. And dare I say, I think that's kind of dumb because Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun have looked really, really good. And why would you trade one of them right now if you're the Rockets? I feel like that's a really not smart thing to do, trading one of those two guys, because they've been really good this year.
So this is what I'll say about these two guys being traded. They are in the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of what you're going to get in return. Sengun, you are going to get probably jack shit for at this moment, even though he's excellent, because he's coming off an injury. So people could be like, well, we don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back, blah, 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 and give you any reason they can to give you like a low buy. Green is red hot, playing out of his mind. And so if Houston decides to sell on him right now, they might actually be able to get something back that's worth it. But if you believe in either one of these guys, I don't know why you would want to trade them. Like you said, Houston's been on a roll, technically since Sengun went down, which could make them think about, what if we just didn't have him? But he's good. And he fits a mold of what Denver's doing to dominate basketball games. You have a big guy who can pass the ball and is smart. Why would you not keep him around? He plays well for you. It's not like Houston was the bottom of the barrel when Şengün was playing this year.
Mm-mm.
They were still pretty solid. They went on a real bad skid from like January through February, but March has been great. He went down. Bizarre rumors to come out. Who would they even trade for?
I don't know. I don't know who would be available or who they would want.
You're gonna get Zach LaVine?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like there aren't any guys out there who you'd want to trade one of these guys for, unless like what?
Let me look at the
Luka-
standings. See if there's
Luka
anybody
requested
that should
trade.
be.
Like it's got to be someone big for the Rockets. I feel like to take.
Do you
a
think
swing
somebody
trade
in
with these
Golden
guys.
State is going to ask out? Like, is Curry done there? Probably not.
No,
He's probably not
no.
going to leave.
Like
Okay,
Trey
other
Young.
teams.
Trey
Maybe
Young,
Trae
is that who
Young?
they're looking at?
Is that your answer?
I guess. Like, would
Do
you
think
trade one
Ime
of
would
those
want
two?
Trey Young?
I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but that's the only thing I can think of. Like, do the I just
Can you
don't
get
know. There's
somebody
nothing
out of
there.
Phoenix?
Mikal Bridges. Would you trade one of them for Mikal Bridges? The Rockets love Mikal Bridges.
Probably
some reason.
wouldn't.
I wouldn't either, but they already tried
Especially,
trading Jalen Green for him.
Yeah, like you tried to trade Jalen Green before, and Jalen Green wasn't good. Now he's playing well. He's
I don't know,
playing
man.
smart basketball. He's playing efficient. Like he's not just chucking. This is a weird time for them to shape up.
I agree.
Philly isn't going to sell. Toronto is already sold. I don't really see any of these teams unless you think Detroit's going to give up one of their big guys. And even then, I would rather have either one of Houston's guys than anybody on Detroit except Cade.
Very odd. I don't know. Weird rumors. Anyways, ready for March Madness bracket?
The finale.
Well, let's do it.
Pull it
Last
up.
one of the year. We'll be back next year. Don't worry about it. But for right now, this is the last March Madness bracket you're getting out of us. So, last one we have cooking up for you is: did the background change for you, or did it not?
No.
Change? Come on, I believe in you. There it is. All right. NBA logos redesigned. So, how many shuffles do you want, Sam?
Do 3.
1, 2, 3. All right. I don't know who made this.
I hate this.
However, whoever made this redesigned a bunch of logos, and it's fun. They're kind of small, so I'm gonna have to zoom way in and for do matchup mode. But they're very simplistic, so they're very
Okay.
easy to look at. But first one we got is OKC Thunder versus Golden State. Golden State is basically just circles redesigned with the bridge at the bottom in the basketball shape, and the Thunder is also another basketball in a circle with a little lightning bolt with the T for the Thunder. I like these Warriors redesigns. I think this is
I
really
agree.
clean. The
I
city.
think the Warriors ones are clean.
I really like that. Next one, we got the Rockets versus the Hornets. The Hornets just have a new Hornet with a little stinger. The Rockets have this. I really like this Rockets logo.
You
with the
do?
basketball with the Rockets shooting at. I do. You don't?
I like the Hornets one better. I think, you know what the Rockets one reminds me of is the Wizards City edition.
I guess a little. I like this new colorway for the Rockets of the orange and the light orange and the blue.
No.
But I'll back
Especially
the Hornets.
when
That's
they
fine.
already have this the astronaut one from the city editions this year, the lone city edition W this season. Houston can't do it.
Next, we got the Bulls, which is just very similar to their OG logo, just a little bit pop. And then they've got a new one with the Windy City. I like these Wizards one though. The Wizards, they added an actual wizard in there, to like a red and blue one, and then a blue and gold one. I like the Wizard though. I think this would be
Okay.
a cool rebrand.
You go ahead. I think the Bulls ones look cool with the little shadow on them.
I guess. Next, we got Spurs versus Heat. The Spurs just say Spurs, but they added the little teal, pink, and orange colorway in the middle for them, and then the Heat is just a different like version of a basketball going through a ring coming down.
So I like the Spurs ones better.
I agree.
But it is nice to see that they leaned into the Vice City of Miami.
This is cool.
Because Miami should probably just rebrand to that. I don't think
I
anybody
agree.
would complain.
No, these are too similar to the normal Heat ones though. Next, we have Suns versus Brooklyn Nets. I don't like either of these. I don't mind this Phoenix with the Sun, because I think it's cool that it's the Phoenix Suns. These Nets ones are kind of boring. I do like the blue and red for the Nets. I think that's what they should rebrand to. But
I
these,
agree.
I don't love either of these.
I am on the same page as you. I like the Phoenix, and I also like the red, blue, gray Nets one. I actually think if they did the Nets one, that could work.
So you want to go with this then? Nets?
Yes.
All right, I'm in. Next, we have the Clippers versus the Bucks. The Clippers is just like an anchor with Clippers below. The Bucks is an actual buck hanging out, skipping along. It kind of looks like if Lucky, the leprechaun, was a buck.
Yeah,
throwing the ball
the
in his
Buck is
hands.
in the same universe as Lucky.
I kind of like this little buck, but
I do too. It
I'm not
sucks
a
because I
fan of
like the
this.
Clippers one too. I like the teal.
The Clippers one
sky
looks
blue.
too much like a
The Wizards.
It reminds me of like a what am I trying to say? Like a squid for some
A
reason. Like I look
squid?
at that and I see a squid. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I like the buck.
Yeah, the
I'm
Buck's a
fan.
good one.
Next we have we're going back to the top apparently.
Oh, maybe
know how
some
this
team's gonna buy.
Yeah, maybe because I see the Celtics right here. Anyways, we have the Warriors versus the Hornets. The Warriors with a little circle again with the bridge at the bottom. The Hornets with an actual hornet. Thoughts?
I like the Warriors one. I just think that one on the left is real clean. I
Yeah.
think both these are good.
I agree. Wizards versus Spurs. The actual Wizard versus the Spurs logo.
I like that Spurs one. I think this
I do too. All right, next we have the Nets versus the Bucks. The little buck versus again the Nets
the
rebranded a
Buck
little bit
wins.
blue. I agree. I like him. I'm a fan of this little buck. I
Yeah.
think he's cool. Next up, we have the Warriors versus the Spurs.
What the fuck is going on here? How come
I don't know.
this bracket is being weird?
I don't know. It's kind of acted weird. I'm just kind of going with the matchups because I have to zoom in so far that I can't tell what's what.
No,
but
I like that Spurs one. I think it's
I do
clean.
too. I think they could add that as like an actual thing. Why the hell is the Bucks playing the Knicks now? What the Bucks in the other bracket? I'm
What
just gonna go
sucks
with
is
it.
this is actually a good
Hold
like
up.
bracket.
Why did we start on this side? You saw me click up here, right?
Yeah.
What is? Oh, the Knicks just got to buy. So the Knicks got to buy all the way in because there's an uneven amount of teams.
So they just
'Cause
gave
it's-
some teams, but that doesn't make sense. There's literally because there's 15.
Because it's
there's
30. Yeah, it's a bracket. Yeah, so it's awkward. Okay,
Alright.
fair enough. So the Knicks is new. The Knicks have like a little building at the top of their logo, but it just says Knicks and then basketball at the bottom. I actually kind of like the Knicks logo, but I like the Buck too. So I'm. What do you think?
I just think that Buck is cool. I also
agree.
think Milwaukee is more like due for a rebrand than the Knicks would be.
Yeah, I agree. And now you got the Spurs versus the Bucks. My problem, like, I love the Spurs logo, but I also like the normal Spurs logo, like the one they have currently. Like, I really like
just
the
the
normal
actual
Spurs logo.
Spurs. Yeah,
The Spurs, yeah, with like an actual spur coming at. So
I mean they have a spur on the bottom of these.
I know they do too, but the other one seems like it's like the Spurs, the actual U. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the Buck or the Spurs?
I like the Bucks.
I agree. Bucks go through. All right, next side.
We
If
made it.
can.
We
Are we
made
allowed?
it.
Can I use matchup mode, please? Are you gonna let me like play? Hello?
They're breaking your balls on the last
Dude,
one.
this is kind of pissing me off. It's not letting me do this. So we just might not be able to do matchup mode. Can I just zoom in and we can look at them like this? Chalked.
Okay.
This sucks,
Okay.
dude. What are we doing? This is really annoying me.
Now,
I
if
might
you
refresh.
click one of them, it'll advance, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah, just zoom in. Just zoom in and do that.
All right.
That's
whatever.
not a bad way to do this.
This sucks.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right.
We made
We
it
have
back.
Hawks versus Sixers. Can you see this? Is this like clear
Yeah.
enough on your screen?
It looks good to me.
All right. My
So,
computer's bugging out, but I'm here.
oh shit. Okay. So you
I
have
can't
the
change
Hawk.
tabs.
They have a circle around the bird with the basketball, and then they just have the bird with the basketball. And then the Sixers have a similar logo to what they have now. I kind of think the Hawks one looks better. I like the current Sixers logo, and I kind of like this one too. But I think the current one is better than the one that they have now, so I don't see
Yeah.
a reason to put it through.
I like this Hawks. I do like the Hawks. If I could click on it, I would like the Hawks. Holy shit, this sucks. This is
Now
so
you got
ass.
Grammarly helping
This
you out.
is terrible, man. I'm refreshing. Can I click the Hawks yet? This is horrendous.
This is weird.
Hawks.
Okay.
Hawks. Sweet. I can. Okay, we're back. Sure.
Okay.
Next, we have Pacers versus Nuggets. The Nuggets are like a weird, like modern version of just a normal Nuggets logo. Like they've got the mountains in the back. It's like a trapezoid almost. They're an octagon with Nuggets across the top. The Pacers, meanwhile, have like a modern version of their old P logo with the ball coming through the middle, and then the actual state of Indiana with the P. I really like this Pacers
The Pacers.
thing. I'm a fan. If I could click on it, so I can't click on the Pacers one. This is cool. This is phenomenal. Finally. Okay. We're just gonna have to zoom in and out. Sorry, chat. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of zooming.
Disastrous bracket.
This is horrible. I don't get it. Can I just refresh the page and see like if I can use matchup mode? Because it's pissing me off. I don't want to do this. Hold up, chat. You're gonna have to deal with this for a sec. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck you. Refresh. Can I use matchup mode now? Nope. Cool.
What the
All
fuck
right.
is bracket fights doing today?
Fuck you, bracket fights. Okay. Next, we got the Blazers versus the Timberwolves. The Wolves used an actual wolf, like an actual cartoon kind of, not just like the 2D version. Timberwolves. The Blazers changed. It's very similar to their real logo, but it's like makes a P for Portland instead of like whatever the hell they have going on right now, which I think would be a much smarter idea than what they have going on right now. I don't know though. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Portland one.
All right.
I think the Portland one looks good.
Go with Portland. I like the P. Next one. Lakers versus Cavs. Lakers just have a basketball with the Lakers. Yeah, these are both not great. Oh, I do like the Cavs. The Cavs got the sword going through the word, which I didn't see.
Okay.
I like that.
The Lakers logo now is better than this.
Yeah, I like the Cavs. And I like the orange and blue like off coloring of the Cavs they have for the one option as well. Celtics is just Lucky's face instead of his body, and a circle with Lucky's face in it. And then the Heat somehow made it to this side of the bracket as well. So I think they lose by default. Thoughts?
Okay, sure.
Do you dislike the Celtics logo?
No, I like that they kept Lucky for what it's worth.
It's very similar. Next, we have your Pistons, Sam, with a big D for Detroit with P in the middle of it.
Battle of the Horses.
And then the Mavericks with an actual horse and then an M. I really like this logo with the M with the hat on it, but I think they have this in real life. I'm pretty sure
they just changed the colors.
I do like this Pistons rebrand though. I think this looks kind of cool.
You do? Okay. Yeah,
you don't
different.
like it?
The thing about the Pistons is it does feel. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I feel like they kind of need to change the logo because they've been bad for so long. They need to change it.
I agree, and I like this. I'm a fan.
Yep.
I like the Pistons. Next, we have the Kings versus the Grizzlies. The Kings, it's just like a king with like straight lines and a triangle at the bottom. Like I don't know how to describe this. Like
sharp.
It does kind of look cool. And then the Grizzlies, we just have different versions of their logo that they have with like a bear, but he's growling. I like this Kings. I like the King.
Yeah, I like the Kings too. Looks sharp.
I'm a fan of them. Next, we have the Pelicans versus the Raptors. The Pelicans is literally just a basketball and a crescent and an actual Pelican. I like this Pelicans logo for what
the actual Pelican one is good, but the other one, what are you doing?
That sucks. It's just
they didn't even try.
And then this Raptor is an actual Raptor, and I kind of like him. I can't lie.
Okay,
cool.
yeah, put it through. The Pelicans one, I just can't believe like they put no effort into the first one.
All right, we'll just stay down here. Then we have this
work your way up.
This Raptors versus the King, the little sharp King or whatever you want to call him, versus the Raptor. What do you think?
I like the King.
I'm fine with that.
Reminds me of
the King looks cool.
cards.
He does look cool. Next, we have the Pistons versus the Celtics logo. We're just grading the logo, and these are your two teams, Sam. So, what do you?
This is tough.
I kind of like this Pistons logo because I think this could be an actual logo for them. Like, I really like this teal one with the red and the yellow.
In the D, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would go with the Pistons because the Celtics just don't need to change their logo. Their logo is perfect.
I knew that was coming. Next, we have the Cavs, which says Cavs with the sword in the middle.
Come on, man.
Portland with the P. I think this would look really good on like the chest of a jersey with the sword going through the word Cavs. I think that would look really cool. But I do think
better than those shitty jerseys they have now.
I agree, but at the same time, I think this Portland logo is significantly better than what they have right now because it's the actual fucking Portland P.
I would agree.
What do you think?
I like that Portland one. I think the P looks cool.
Alrighty, we'll rock with it. Next, we have Pacers Hawks. Hawks have the actual hawk, and then the Pacers have the P with the basketball going through. This Pacers logo is really sick.
Yeah, it's a wagon of a logo.
I'm a big fan. Speaking of it, we have it going up against the other P with the Blazers.
Again.
Yeah, the Pacers logo is really good. Pistons, Kings. I know you like the King. You like the King?
Yeah, I think it's just a cool logo. I don't think the Kings logo now is very good. Yeah. I get it. It's like what the old logo used to look like when they were in Rochester and also Kansas City, but
I think it loses to the Pacers though.
Oh yeah, the Pacers is a heater. Pacers
I think the
probably
Pacers
win.
beats the Buck. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's better
I'd
than the
say so.
Bucks.
This Pacers logo is really cool. This was a fun bracket if it worked.
If it worked,
would have been real fun if it just fucking wasn't a piece of shit. But we made it through. Brackets are done for the year. Make sure to submit your submissions, whatever you want to see us do next year. No more brackets till next March, though. We're done with them. That said, let's get into the rat list here. Would you like to kick it off?
Yeah. Rat list. My mom and the cat. So this is less of a rat list, more of a rare. Oh, wow. I think my mom is actually like making a good point on this. So I mentioned it about a month ago. One of my cats died. My mom, when the cat died, was away for work. So she wasn't here. And she has this weird guilt about missing the cat's death, which I can understand. Like, we've had the cat forever. She loves the cats. It kind of sucks that she never got closure. However, there is a new wrinkle to this tale. Remember last time I told you about this? We thought about one of the cats is trying to take on the new role of the head cat, pissing everywhere. Just peeing all over the house. My mom is convinced that one of the other cats is holding her responsible for the original cat's death.
By pissing everywhere?
No. This cat will hiss at my mom now out of nowhere. He has like weird beef with my mom. So I actually think my mom's right. And I think my cat might be blaming her for the death of the other cat.
My
or
God.
at least the disappearance.
What's this cat's name?
So the one that died is Squeak. The one that is holding a grudge is Big.
You named the cat Big?
She names the cats.
That's a sick name. I love Big. Big is very fun. Is it a big cat?
No.
Okay.
But he's holding her responsible.
That tracks.
He's the greatest cat ever. I'll like give him a fist bump and he puts his head against my fist.
Hell yeah. I love that. So I don't really have any good like rat list as in complaining rat list today. However, I do have some like random shit that I don't really have another place to share. I don't know if you are familiar with this. I don't want to call it sport, but I saw this on Twitter today and I enjoyed it. And so I wanted to share.
Let's see.
Have you seen balloon keep up? Have you seen this sport?
Yeah, I mean, you do this as a kid.
It's fire though. These guys, but this is like if you take balloon keep up and put your fucking body on the line. These guys are fucking...
This is how you get injured.
Correct.
This is how you hurt yourself.
But this is they called it the best round of the year.
You know how NBA has the promo of like
they got
this
the
is where
slow-mo.
amazing happens. This is where concussions happen.
He's full stretch, man. Look at this. Look at this.
You tell me that guy isn't going to slam his head into the little bar they have there?
They
he almost
absolutely
just
will.
gave himself CTE.
They will, but it's fun. Look at them, dude.
It does kind of look like they have uniforms on. They get the same
unbelievably long. My God.
Wow.
Dude,
this would be
crazy.
A workout. I'm getting tired watching it.
I can't believe that guy kept it up. Oh, it's cooked. Yeah, he's done.
She said.
I just watched that and I thought it was fun. That's no rat list, but
fuck those guys. Rat list.
I like it. Fuck you.
Rat list is recycling. So I hate the planet. But seriously, recycling is the most bizarre thing ever. Because now when you go to like Stop and Shop, right, Jack? You don't get paper with plastic. You don't get plastic bags at the grocery store anymore. At least in Rhode Island, you don't. I don't know if you still got them in Mass. If you do, then more power to you. But you don't get plastic bags at the grocery store now, so you're stuck carrying paper bags. I don't think there has ever been a good paper bag made ever for carrying. They have no handles. If they do have handles, the handles break. They're awful. Now, in my city, and I think everywhere, they have different trash for trash, and they have the recycling, like, trash barrel. And you bring them out for trash day. You bring them to the street. When we take out the trash, we used to have a paper bag where we would put the trash with a plastic bag. So paper with plastic, so you had something to hold on to when you take the trash down. Apparently, you're not supposed to throw away plastic bags. So even though like you can't get plastic bags from the store, you can't even use them for your garbage. Like you're not supposed to throw them in the recycling. How does that make any sense? You're fucking putting plastic bottles in the recycling bin. Why can I not use a plastic bag to put in my recycling?
It's probably a different type of plastic. I know that's not the answer you want to hear, but like that's genuinely.
They have
probably
different types of plastic?
Yeah, you know the recycling symbols that are on the bottom of the bottles. Here, let me find one.
Well, then why
like,
don't they make fucking plastic trash bags
So-
that are recyclable?
It's impossible to see, but so this like there's a little
I know what you're
recycling symbol
talking
here,
about.
and it has a 1 in it. And so like different numbers are different like things that you can and can't recycle with certain other things. And so you probably have to buy a specific like recyclable trash bags to throw with the recycling.
They don't make it easy for you.
They do not. They do not.
They make it easy to throw it all in that big black bin and call it a day.
Yep. Exactly. They'll take anything.
But it's
with those.
bullshit that we're using paper bags to carry down our recycling because you're not supposed to use trash bags for the recycling.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm trying to see because like that's a 1. So I assume this.
Let's see.
Diet
Can you
Pepsi's like
recycle my
thing.
seltzer water? Let's see.
This is metal can. No, this is just says can. This is.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that. There's a 1 on here.
See, exactly. Yeah, there's different like types of
Angel
things that you
Life
can and
stuff.
can't do. Yeah.
I can't wait to throw it in the black bin.
I'll route list myself. So we spent what 20 minutes earlier, probably less, like 10 minutes talking about betting and like doing it responsibly, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I made the stupidest bet of my life last night. I bet
What did you
far
bet
too
on?
far too much money.
What did you bet on?
I
You don't
bet
have to say how much money.
$200. I put $200.
Okay. Yeah, you are dumb.
Yep, bad on Duke money line.
But they won.
Correct. That doesn't mean it wasn't really fucking stupid.
Who did they beat?
Houston, 1 seed.
Oh, that's right, because the guy in Houston got hurt.
They were plus 245. Plus.
Did you like that the guy got hurt?
No, I didn't see. I watched the game and they started losing, so I turned it off and was just hanging with my friends. And I would just check the updates. I'm like, I'm not gonna start watching because they'll start losing if I start watching. So I was just watching it go on, and it worked
Now
out.
you're
It was
addicted to
still
gambling.
horrendous. Yeah, that was really bad. But I was sitting there. I'm like, why are they so like big underdogs? Like Duke, I feel like they got hot. Like I feel like they're not that bad. And so I was like, fuck it. And I put a little bit of money on it. And I was like, fuck it. I'll just be dumb. But then I immediately took like almost all of it out of my sportsbook account and put it in my bank account. And I was like, yeah, we're done.
Good for
We
you.
need to take a breather. We need to stop.
Can't wait to bet Pelicans money line live sometime later. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Right.
All right. What else you got? Because I got a closer.
I have one more last thing. So you've been on here prancing around. That's not the right word, but like you can't beat me in MLB The Show, right?
You can't. I still haven't been beaten.
So I was with Henry and my friend Dwint last night, Danny, and we were. What are you laughing at?
Oh, I thought his actual
His
name
name-
was Dwint.
Tell a
Yeah,
story.
I know.
I've
I
definitely
know.
said
You've
this.
explained this before.
Yeah. His name's Danny Winters, but we had 2 Dannys, so we called him Dwint.
It's kind of funny, Dwint. It's like Dwight, but like incomplete.
We
It's
were
like Dwight's like a version of Bizarro.
we were playing NHL, and we did like King of the Court. Like if you win, you stay on. 6 in a row, just swept the night.
Yeah, there you go.
I just fucking murdered them. They were getting really mad because I play like an asshole in NHL. I just fucking anytime somebody passes the puck, I take my guy. I just check the fuck out of him. Man, I go up to him. I even if they haven't had the puck in 3 seconds, I lam on their ass. Just body check.
You're gonna hurt their guys. That's messed up.
There were lots of injuries throughout the night. But by the time that I'm done body checking, it's usually a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2 in my favor on either end because either I've chip checked their attacking player so where they have nobody to pass to when they're on offense, or I have hit checked their defender where I have a 2-on-1 fast break on the other side. And so Henry was just getting really fucking mad at me when I was just winning the whole night.
I think Henry being mad at you would be pretty funny to watch.
It is.
As long as he's not laughing, he'd be okay. You didn't even have
Yeah,
to check his guys. All you had to do was make him laugh.
I just rolled chill last night. And it was a good time, but I was playing like an asshole. And you know what? I stand by it. It's within the rules. They could do the same thing. I stand on it.
When we play like Mario Strikers, when me and the boys get together, there's always somebody just doing that. Because you play 4-on-4, so everybody's got their own like role. And there's just somebody running around knocking everybody on their ass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ratless The Bachelor. You ever watch The Bachelor, Jack?
Yes, I have.
It's some fucking shit, I'll tell you that. I was watching it yesterday. The lady wanted to watch it. She had a big exam today. I'm sure she's doing fine. She's still in there for like 3 more hours. And she wanted to watch The Bachelor. So we watched it. It's the season finale. So this guy has spent X amount of months just with all the ladies trying to get after him. And he's down to 2. The way it's presented is he already had his decision made. So they just like dressed both these girls up like real nice for like one of them just to like cry. Like she had her makeup done and everything. And he like proposes to the other one. And then, so I guess as the Bachelor finale is happening, they air the finale to a live watch party of the people that are involved.
Yes, I've seen
and
that.
They all
on
watch it.
Social media. Yeah.
So I've come to the conclusion that The Bachelor is like professional wrestling, but for women, because it's basically a big March Madness where there's a big bracket of women trying to compete for one man, or vice versa, because they do have the Bachelorette.
It's true.
And then, like, they get all excited about these characters that are like in their own universe. Like nobody knows who, like, I don't know what the names were. Jimmy from The Bachelor is, except for people that watch the show. But so they have the guy that is the Bachelor. Then they bring out the girl that he left at the altar.
Yeah.
And like they have a chat. And then they bring out the girl he picked. And then they announce who the Bachelorette is going to be. And I'll tell you this, when they brought out the girl that's going to be the Bachelorette, it's like when like The Rock would come back to wrestling. That's how my girlfriend reacted. They brought her out there and she was like, oh my God, I knew it was going to be this person. And like everybody in the live room is going berserk. It is an experience.
It is. I will say, girls will sit there and question, like, why do you watch people play video games on the internet? Why do you watch people do this? Like,
exactly.
It is the exact same thing. Like it is 1 for 1, bar for bar. Like the same. Me watching a guy on YouTube play Valorant is like you watching these fucking Hollywood puppeteers pick the Bachelorette and wave it in front of your face.
The best is like when the guy like let the girl that he wasn't gonna propose to go, like he was like tearing up, and then she basically ripped the Band-Aid off and was like, yeah, like I know you're not gonna pick me, so get fucked.
I saw that clip. I saw that clip on,
and then he was like, this isn't how it was supposed to go.
I know.
It's like, all right, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I get like I don't know how real it is. I don't have much faith that it's like really real, but like I could understand the emotion of like, yeah, I feel like an asshole. So like feeling guilty, but like
the concept is really weird though, because like
it is very weird.
Like you're trying to find love, but you also like have like if you're like one of the girls, you have to worry about everybody else. So like how can you trust the main like bachelor? Like, wouldn't I feel like that would fuck you up? And then, like, what if you get married, right? Like, what if they actually go through with the engagement and they have kids? Like, do you think that'll fuck up the kids? Like, here's how mommy and daddy met, and it's like daddy like playing the fucking field. He's just got all the girls like lined up.
You just show them the show when they're like 13, and they get to the episode where they just give them a hotel room to fuck, and they're like, wait,
exactly, yeah. But she
man.
was like explaining all the lore to me. Like she was like, yeah, like this host used to be on The Bachelor and they had to get rid of the old host because it came out that he was like racist a couple years ago. I was like, and I thought she said he came out as racist, and I was like, wait, what? No.
He said some
what a like a backstory that has. But yeah, it's definitely like professional wrestling for like adult women.
Exactly. 100% is what it is.
The sheer excitement when they brought out the new Bachelorette.
It's like watch out Randy Orton out of nowhere, or like no, you know what it is, it's that they need to put an edit of the girl coming out to the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass break,
and everybody's hyped. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, she like screamed It's like,
It's
what are we
like-
doing here?
It's like fucking. It's like a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's literally pro wrestling. Like she's screaming, and I'm like, "What are you doing? This isn't even real."
Someone needs to take, like 2K24 WWE, how you can get custom characters. Someone needs to create the fucking Bachelorette.
Just the whole
So you-
roster of the Bachelorette, or like all of
and
them.
you have entrance music running down to the ring. It's the new Bachelorette
Yeah.
coming down. Who's
I
gonna
mean,
be
I
number
get it.
30?
I don't really want to pull up the clip, but I am curious,
Ugh.
like how much the excitement was coming from where I was with Kaylin, or if it was actually like hype. I think it was a mix. Like I think they
What
were
is it?
hyped and-
Announcement Bachelor.
yeah, like the new Bachelorette.
I don't know how to spell Bachelorette. I feel stupid. I mean, just take a look at Twitter, buddy. There's Twitter accounts dedicated to this. Look at this. This is the most stressful Bachelorette announcement ever. Please, people.
They took 2 breaks to do it. They were like coming up next, the Bachelorette, and then they brought out the second girl again that came in second. And then they went to another break, and then they brought out the real girl.
Someone tweeted this, the Drake getting hype clip. Someone tweeted out Daisy backstage waiting for her Bachelorette announcement. And it's just
It wasn't even her. That was the second place girl.
Man, the fake.
I think she turned it down. She was like, "I'm not ready."
It's clearly people are hyped.
I guess
The
so.
People are ready. Oh man, I'll watch. I'm a fan of like some trashy reality TV. Like I'll watch it from time to time. Like not there.
We watch the NBA. It's the best there is.
This is true, exactly. But it is hilarious when you put it in that context of WWE. Anyways,
That's all I could think about watching it. I was like,
that's all it is.
what is going on here?
That's all I got. That's all I got for Rouse. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. That was the
We'll call it
closer.
there.
I'm glad I brought in the right closer today.
I liked
Didn't
it.
blow the save.
We'll call it there. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to leave a like on the video on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Comment what's popping for a chance to win a $10 Inpuppino gift card. Leave us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify and follow us there as well. Leave us a review. It really helps us grow. Appreciate it. Let's Sam wrap it up.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily content coming at you at 5 a.m. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, these new pods come out for you. Hour and a half, 2 hours, plenty of content to get you through the day. Any day after a game in the morning, we'll have the game recap up. We're live a half hour before every single game, and we're live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Talking Seas in the morning. And Tuesdays, we are now live for Celts at the Round Table with the Celtics Avengers. It's me, Jack, Bobby, Noah Dowsell, Cam Tabatabai, Justin Turpin, and Kari Thompson. Are we missing anybody? I really hope.
I think you got it all.
I think I got everybody. That would be awful. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, and this guy. We forgot about him. But, yeah, that's live. We did one last week. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people tuned in. So come back. It's going to be a good time. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. Like Jack said, leave a 5-star review. Say something nice about the pod. You'll get the pods and game recaps there if you follow us. You can email us. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address. You saw RJ emailing us today. If you have thoughts on the Celtics, thoughts on the Bachelor, thoughts on whatever, send us an email. I don't know. Send us your rat list. I like that. I liked when people would send us the rat list. We had the one where the guy was like the boss and he accidentally like offended somebody.
Shout out Nate Bach.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing someone in the comments saying, "I can't fucking believe this person was the Bachelor."
I can't believe these guys are comparing the Bachelor to professional wrestling.
Ray's gonna get so mad.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of the reverse. The professional wrestling fans getting mad too. He said the Bachelor is the same thing. If you want more of us, you can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's the handle. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack Simone NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on. Taco.